Part 2. Kusagakure no Sato. Naruto was perched in a tree outside the village of Kusagakure with his Anbu mask on and a telescope to his visible eye. Over the past week he split time observing his fellow Uzumaki and killing bandits. Karin lives in the southern portion of the village but away from most of the populace. It took all his willpower not to raise the village as he watched Kusa Ninja drag Karin out of her home and return her hours later, looking exhausted and near catatonic. He sent Clonus in disguise, learning Karin would be taken to the hospital and her unique skill used to heal anyone in need. The doctors were lazy and decadent as they had Karin to use as a tool. You know that the monkey is doing this to keep you in the village, Kyuubi states. Naruto retracts his telescope and slips into his vest. Of course I know that. He knows if he dies or steps down as Hokage and the new cage isn't cordial to me, I'll vanish. So he's trying to keep me rooted by retrieving Karin, he thought. The blonde vanishes into a murder of crows and reforms some ways away from the village with his evidence. Halt, a gruff voice shouts. Naruto points to his hitade around his neck. I am here on behalf of Konoha. I need to speak with your leader, he says. The guard, a large man with the black hair and tan skin, scoffs. Ha. You're here with no word. Beat it, kid, he sneers. Either tell him I am here or run the risk losing of our alliance, Naruto says, leaking some of his ki. The guard gulps and allows Naruto through, but the blonde senses several ninja now on him. People give weary stares and give him a wide berth as he makes his way to the leader's building, small compared to the Hokage Tower. Oh, you're trespassing in Kusa, kid, another guard says, holding a spear. He is nondescript man with brown hair and eyes, wearing Anbu armor. Naruto lifts his glasses to his forehead. Look, I am here on business with your leader. I am ambassador from Konoha, he says. The guard TSKS and leads Naruto to the office of their leader Zasu. So Konoha sends children, ambassador, the guard says. I'm old enough, Naruto says, and the guard scoffs, opening the door. Zasu-sama. Some ambassador from Konoha, the guard says. Zasu is a fair-skinned man, with black hair combed back and reaches a shoulder length, gray pupil-less eyes, dark brown-gray kimono-like shirt with cream outlines, black pants. A white robe tied around his waist, black socks, and black sandals. What does the great Konoha want, Zasu says. Naruto reaches in vest and tosses his evidence on the table. Kusa is housing a member of the Uzumaki clan and I on behalf of the Uzumaki and Konoha have come to substantiate rumors of her mistreatment, he says. That is absurd. Guards, arrest this brat. He's trespassing. Konoha will pay dearly for this affront, Zasu shouts, but Naruto unleashes some his ki, freezing the guard. Aberrant living conditions. Mistreatment and abduction by your shinobi. So I, Naruto Uzumaki, have come to take her into my custody, and if you deny this, Naruto says and tosses the scroll to Zasu. He opens the scroll and reads the contents, along with the evidence before him. He gnashes his teeth. Go get the Uzumaki, Zasu barks, and the guard bows. How dare Konoha threaten Kusa, Zasu hisses. Naruto tilts his head with his arms behind his back. How dare Kusa treat a member of my clan in such a manner, he shot back. Before Zasu could retort, the guard returns with Karin, who was looking both angry and afraid. You sent for me, Zasu-sama, Karin asks but sees Naruto. The blonde turns on his heels and bows to Karin. Hello, Karin. I am Naruto Uzumaki and I am here to take you into Konohagakure's custody, he says, shocking her. Why, I haven't committed a crime, Karin says. Naruto glances back to Zasu with slight disgust. No, you didn't. Konohagakure learned of your mistreatment and sent me, the head of the Uzumaki clan, to take you into custody, he explains. But I'm a citizen of Kusa, Karin says, but could see the anger wafting off of Zasu. Be that as it may, Zasu has more than enough evidence of your treatment, and if he knows what is good for him, he'll release you into my care and the remains of your mother as well, Naruto states. Karin shoots Zasu a dirty look. They burned my mom. I have her ashes at home, she says. If you're done talking, take her and get out of my village, Zasu shouts, slamming his fist on the desk. Naruto tips his glasses his down with barely a bow to Zasu and turns to Karin. Let's get your belongings and be on our way, he says, keenly aware of a small snake hiding under the desk. Unknown location. The dreaded snake Sanin Orochimaru sits upon a throne as one of his snake summons dispels with a message. Kyukyuku. So Naruto-kun has come to claim his kinsman, he muses. Fetch me Gyuren, Orochimaru orders, and one of his minions scurries off. A few minutes pass and a young woman enters the throne room. You sent for me, Orochimaru-sama, she says. She has fair skin, dark eyes and light blue hair in a spiky ponytail with long strands of hair framing her face. Yes, I did, Gyuren. I have a mission for you. You are to head to the Kusa fire border and intercept two people. I want them both alive. They are valuable test subjects, Orochimaru explains. Guren bows at the waist and Orochimaru rises from his throne to hand her 2 photos. Their names are Naruto and Karin Uzumaki. The former is the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Do not underestimate him, he says. I will not, Orochimaru-sama, Guren says and excuses herself. Orochimaru returns to his throne and closes his eyes but opens them as another one of his snakes arrives with a scroll. The Sannin takes the scroll to read Kabuto's report and by the end of it he could only cackle in anger and gleefulness. Naruto-kun, you have so many secrets. It seems I sent poor Guren to her death, Orochimaru says, to no one. Orochimaru leaves his throne room towards one of his projects, seeing his vaunted sound for training prisoners or troops for the coming invasion. Kid, Orochimaru thought. He has dark skin with black, shaggy hair tied into a ponytail and black eyes along with 6 arms. Sakon, Orochimaru continues. He has fair skin and straight, dark blue hair with what appears to be a second head on his right shoulder. Jirabo, Orochimaru adds. He is the largest of the 4 with fair skin and narrowed, slanted orange eyes and 3 tufts of orange hair on his head. And lastly Teuai, Orochimaru finishes. She is the lone female of the 4 with fair skin with brown eyes and long, untamed, dark pink hair. The Sannin continues towards to one his labs and on one of the slabs is a young man hooked to several devices. Kimimaro, I will soon have need of you, Orochimaru thought. Kimimaro has pale skin, vivid green eyes, angular facial features, 2 scarlet dots on his forehead and shoulder-length white hair. Indeed I will if Kabuto's report is true, Orochimaru thought. Scene break. In Kyusa, Naruto and Karin make their way towards the Fire Country border and the trip was made up of small talk between the pair. Will the Hokage want me to be a kunoichi? Karin asks. If that is your choice. Do you want to become a ninja? Naruto replies. Karin adjusts her glasses and thought, I don't know but I want to be able to defend myself, she says. You can become a medical ninja, Naruto states and Karin slowly nods. The pair continue at a civilian pace but Karin narrows her eyes. Naruto. I sense several people following us, she says. I know, Naruto says and a smokeless clone comes to life. Before kneeling. Get on his back and he'll take you to the border. I'll catch up, Naruto says and Karin slowly nods, getting on the clone's back and they vanish. Naruto pulls his guardless Chakuto from the seal on his wrist as several masked ninja appear around him. Kyusa is very foolish to send people after Karin. Did Zasu assume I was just a chunin, he says, as his glasses shift to his Anbu mask. The Kyusa Anbu quickly go on guard as Naruto's visible eye starts to glow brightly. A little advice. When faced with an enemy of overwhelming strength, breath as one. Link your breathing with your body and soul. Then come together and attack as one, Naruto says, shouting at the end. The Anbu leaps towards Naruto with their swords aimed to pierce him from all sides. Futen Senpu no Ha, Naruto thought, swinging his Chakuto. Blood, parts and bodies rain down around Naruto as his mask partially shifts to his sunglasses with a trail of blood running his face. Do that and you may survive, Naruto muses, licking the blood from his face but his eyes narrow. Naruto vanishes as sharp blue crystals ear up from the ground in a long path but at the beginning of the path with her hand on the ground was Guren. Are you from Kyusa? Naruto says, seemingly everywhere. Guren rises to her full height with a look around. Where is the girl? She says. Naruto drops down like a feather in front of her without his mask on. Yet you claim to not be from Kyusa, he says but his eyes narrow and a smirk forms. The snake, Naruto adds and Guren glares, quickly weaving signs and stopping at Ram. Shoten Shuriken Ranbu, Guren shouts, creating crystal shuriken. Naruto swings his Chakuto in every direction to block and shatters the shuriken. Guren flashes more signs and stops at Snake. Shoten Sushato, she says, creating blue crystal blades on her forearms and charges Naruto. The pair quickly engage in an elegant dance of death but one of Guren's blades shatters as Naruto's sword hums with Raiden. Guren narrowly dodges a strike from Naruto but her cheek opens up as she leaps back. How dare you cut my face? Guren shouts but her eyes widen, as Naruto licks some of the blood from his blade. Guren quickly flashes several more signs and stops at Ram. Shoten Hashkoryu, she shouts, creating a crystal Chinese dragon. Naruto smirks and shoots forward as the dragon does the same. Futen Kazekiri, he shouts, shattering the dragon but wasn't done as several cuts ear up on Guren's body. She staggers back with wide eyes and locks eyes with Naruto's blue Sharingan, and only darkness meets her. Naruto sheathes his sword and approaches the unconscious Guren, a rare bloodline. I think I'll keep her a secret for now, he says and from his cargo pocket. Naruto proceeds to seal Guren into a stasis prisoner scroll, then vanishes with a flash to catch up with his clone and Karin, Konoha, 2 days later. Karin stands next to Naruto as the blonde explains things to the Sandame. Kyusa will more than likely put me in their bingo book, Naruto says. Hiruzen leans back in his chair with his pipe in his mouth. It was bound to happen. Unofficially Kyuketsuki is in there, but now you would be officially. Regardless, your mission was successful, he says and shifts his gaze Karin. Now Karin-chan, do you wish to become a shinobi of Konoha or remain a civilian? Hiruzen asks. Karin shifts her weight between her feet in thought. Can I think about it, Hokage-sama, she says. Hiruzen gives a grandfatherly smile to Karin with a nod. For now you will be living with Naruto-kun. Period. Unless you wish a place of your own, he says. She can have one of my apartments. They're pretty big and have all the amenities, Naruto comments. You own your own apartment, Karin asks and Hiruzen chuckles. He owns the whole complex. Up until 3 years ago, Naruto-kun has not had the best life, Hiruzen states, with a lamenting tone. Naruto told me about things, Karin says and Hiruzen shoots the blonde a look. All right. You two are excused, Hiruzen says and both nod, bowing at the waist. Karin and Naruto make their way out of the tower and through the village. So the sun really isn't a problem for you, Karin asks. Naruto adjusts his sunglasses with a raise of his hand and moves it so motion. I can take it, but it's annoying. I didn't have to babysit my team. I would sleep to the afternoon, he muses. The pair soon reach Naruto's complex in the red light district and make their way to the top floor. Looks like no one is up, Naruto says, taking off his boots. Karin takes off her sandals and follow Naruto to the living room, taking a seat on the recliner. The apartments below have the same setup with 2 bedrooms, full kitchen and bathroom. They are below the dojo and pool floors. Both floors are soundproof with seals as well, Naruto explains, sitting on the sofa. The pair continue to make small talk as Naruto recounts his younger days and Karin does the same. When did you get back, Naruto? Kurenai says, with a small yawn and wearing a large t-shirt. Karin gawks at Kurenai's ethereal beauty and looks to Naruto. Not long ago, and this is Karin, he says. Sorry about the clothes, Karin. I am Kurenai Yuhi, Kurenai says. Karin adjusts her glasses and shakes Kurenai's hand. Nice to meet you. We didn't wake you guys up, she says, but Kurenai waves her hand. Not at all. Our rooms are sound and sunproof. So you know what we are, Kurenai says, looking to her blonde. Naruto told me some things. He wanted me prepared, Karin replies and Kurenai slowly nods, but the redhead blushes. You're not naked underneath that, Karin asks and Kurenai giggles, lifting the shirt to show a pair of jean shorts and a red bra. I'm not that immodest. Now Anko or Hana on the other hand, Kurenai says and Naruto snorts, getting to his feet. Can you show Karin to one of the lower apartments? I need to take care of something. Oh, we're having dinner at 6 too. You can meet the others, Naruto says and vanishes, with a seamless Shunshin scene break. Guren awakes with a start and find herself in a cell. Where am I, she thought, but sees the bandages on her body. Finally awake, Guren hears and she sees Naruto standing with his arms folded. The left hand of Orochimaru gnashes her teeth and calls on her chakra but finds she can't use any. Don't bother. I sealed your chakra, Naruto says, slipping a lollipop into his mouth. Let me out, you bastard. Do you know who I am? Guren shouts. One of Orochimaru's pets. You should be grateful I kept you alive. I could have drained you dry and enslaved your soul as one of my familiars, Naruto says and Guren's breath hitches. Ho ho. You were sent in blind. Meaning Kabuto didn't get to tell Orochimaru everything about me, Naruto says and grabs the side of his lips, pulling wide. Guren's eyes slowly widen at the 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth. What stands before you is Naruto Uzumaki, also known as Kyuketsuki, but more importantly no life dupe, Naruto states. After letting go of the sides of his mouth. Orochimaru-sama will come for me and dissect you, monster, Guren shouts. Shadows cover Naruto's face to leave only a wide smile and his glowing blue eyes. Oh, keep telling yourself that. For now you'll be fed and cleaned. You have enough chakra to function, he says and turns to leave but stops. Oh, try to escape and your heart will explode and I'll just eat your corpse, Naruto says, walking off and laughing. Naruto walks through the remains of Net HQ but stops as Sai appears before him. Make sure she stays alive. I would hate to lose her, he says. Yes, Naruto-sama, Sai states. Anything of note, Naruto asks and Sai nods her head. Yes. Hanzo the salamander no longer rules a megacure, Sai starts and Naruto narrows his eyes, urging her to continue. We would have sent operatives but the village's rain is laden with chakra. We would have been discovered, Sai finishes but gasps as Naruto lifts her chin to look him in the eye. Good work. Keep doing such a good job and I will let one my queens reward you. I also need a detail on Hamura and Kaharu. Sooner or later they'll dare, Naruto says, and Sai nods, before the blonde breaks down into a murder of crows. Naruto appears on top his father's stone head with his upper body hidden in darkness as several crows fly away. Why didn't you kill that woman? Kyuubi asks. Why indeed? For fun. The sport of fighting her again. Perhaps adding her to my menagerie, but that doesn't feel right. Unlike my queens, she has no connection to me. Hell, it might have been just a whim, Naruto muses, leaping from the stone head. Naruto reappear in the village for a casual walk until dinner. Where have you been, Narubaka? A voice screeches. Naruto rubs his ears and turns to see Sakura with Ino. Why, he says, blankly. Because you're on Sasuke-kun's team, Sakura says. Don't you two hate each other? Naruto says, pointing between them. Don't change the subject. Sasuke-kun can't take higher missions without his full team, Ino says. He won't until Senpai feels he's ready. He's only been a genin for a short time. At most a few months before anything high-ranked, Naruto says. But Sasuke-kun needs to avenge his clan, Sakura shouts, and Naruto waves his hand. Itachi murdered his clan when he was younger than Sasuke is now. You think he can win against that without his precious Sharingan? Naruto shot, making Sakura and Ino angry. What do you know? You're a clanless orphan, Ino shot, but Naruto snorts, with a small laugh. Actually, I'm not. I'm from the Uzumaki clan. You ever notice the red spiral on the backs of Chunin and Jonin vests? They wear that in honor of my deceased clan, Naruto explains and smirks. So I'm not so different from Sasuke, he adds. Then why did no one know? Ino counters. My parents were famous ninja. Gramps thought I couldn't handle the news, and up until 3 years ago I would agree with him, Naruto replies. That still doesn't change the fact that you're weaker than Sasuke-kun, Sakura snaps. Naruto sighs and rubs his forehead with a small groan. For someone so smart. You are stupid. I am a Chunin. I busted my ass for 3 years to get this far. I'm sure your sensei can tell you how hard the Chunin exams are, he states, and turns on his heels. I'm done talking. However, I will give a word of advice. Sasuke doesn't want weak women. So you would do well to get stronger, Naruto adds and vanishes. Naruto appears back at his apartment complex. Well, that ruined my walk, he thought, reaching his apartment and could hear voices. Naruto finds Karin talking to his queens, as luckily Anko and Hana were presentable. So what does everyone want for dinner? No dango, he says, before Anko could say anything. Whatever you think is quick, Yurna, he says, and Naruto nods. So did you find the apartment to your liking? Naruto asks. Karin slowly nods as the blonde creates a clone to start on some chicken and noodles yet, and thank Kami they are furnished, but I'll need to go shopping, she says. I can take you, Kyurna, he says, and Karin nods. Karin told us. Kyusa sent people after you, Yugeo asks, and Naruto nods. Several Anbu, but they failed. Kyusa will probably put me in the bingo books. Meaning other nations will take notice, Naruto replies. Sucks you won't be in the Chunin exams, Anko states, and Naruto shrugs. Oh well. I'm sure Gramps will find me something to do, Naruto muses, and all of them nod, eventually going to eat dinner with stories 2 weeks later. Well, my kawaii genin and Chunin. Since Sasuke and Hinata have done well with their tree walking, we'll take a simple C-rank mission, Kakashi says. Are you sure that is wise, senpai? They've been genin for only a month or so, Naruto comments. He's now wearing a black Anbu cargo pants, combat boots, a form-fitting black shirt with silver sleeves and suspenders. A high-collar white jacket that buttons near the right shoulder, having black trim with 2 tails, and a red scarf around his neck. I think they are. Besides, they have both of us, Kakashi says, as they make their way to the mission hall. Team 7, another D-ranked mission, Hirozen states, but Kakashi shakes his head. No, Hokage-sama. We're here for a C-ranked mission, Kakashi says, and Iruka gasps, about to say something, but Hirozen raises his hand. Well, we did have one come in. Iruka, go fetch Tazuna, Hirozen says, and Iruka reluctantly nods, excusing himself. A few minutes later, Iruka comes back with an older man with gray hair and glasses, a straw hat tied around his neck. He wears a sleeveless V-neck shirt with an obi, pants, and a pair of sandals. Is this the team that will escort me back to Nami? Tazuna says, and Hirozen nods. Kakashi reads the mission parameters and turns to his team. This will be escort mission. Pack for an extended mission and meet at the main gate in 1 hour, he orders, and the 3 nod, excusing themselves. So how have they been doing? Hirozen asks. Sasuke is getting the hang of tree walking along with Hinata starting water walking. However, Sasuke is showing frustration when it concerns Naruto. Kakashi starts. Hirozen sighs and leans back in his chair. I'm sure Naruto-kun is antagonizing Sasuke-kun, he says. The opposite. Sasuke tries to goad Naruto but it fails each time and he grows frustrated. I've been keeping him occupied with training but it only works so much, Kakashi finishes. And Hinata hears and asks. She has expressed no interest in ninjutsu but she is focused on Naruto. Hokage-sama, I feel like Hinata may know Naruto's secret and not his paler features, Kakashi replies. Hiruzen cups his chin in thought. Keep an eye on her and inform Naruto as well, he states, and Kakashi nods, vanishing with Leaf Shunshin Konoha main gate. Hinata stands with a backpack on her back with her eyes closed and wait for her team as she was first to arrive with the client. Over the past 2 weeks she has been trying to unravel the mystery that is Naruto. He had saved her from bullies when they were children but her clan admonished her on associating with him. However, she often watched the boy and saw he was foolish but everything changed when he vanished 3 years ago. Hey, what's up with your blonde teammate? He's odd, Tazuna says, shaking Hinata from her thoughts. She opens her eyes to see Naruto approaching with sunglasses over his eyes and his hands pocketed. I do not know, Tazuna-san, Hinata comments. Naruto took his place next to Hinata but he had no backpack. You have no gear, she asks, but Naruto taps his cargo pocket. Sealed away in storage scrolls. Better convenience, Naruto comments. Hinata recloses her eyes in thought. I will need your power, Naruto. The power of a Jinchuriki to unseat my father as head of the clan, she thought. A few minutes pass and Sasuke appears with his own backpack, followed by Kakashi about 20 minutes later. Alright team. This is first mission outside the village. Keep your eyes open and senses sharp. We should encounter bandits or highwaymen. So be ready, Kakashi says, and all of them nod, as they leave the village a civilian's pace. The mood is quiet for a time with the sound they're breathing and nature's noises. I'll scout ahead, Naruto says, breaching the silence. Don't be reckless, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods, vanishing with a seamless shunshin. The remains of Team 7 and Tazuna continue along their Nami no Kuni. Tazuna-san, why did you come to Konoha for an escort? Hinata asks. Tazuna wipes his brow and takes a swig from his flask. Well, Nami doesn't have a shinobi village. I'm building a bridge to the mainland. So I came to the nearest one, he explains. The group continues on but Naruto appears in front of them in a crouch with his Chikuto across his back but all of them see blood on his cheek. Naruto, Kakashi states. Naruto rises to his full height but shifts his gaze to Tazuna with a blank look. Up ahead was an ambush. 2 missing nin from Kirigakure. The demon brothers, he says. Why would 2 missing nin would be setting an ambush? Kakashi questions and Naruto points to Tazuna. They were after him. They were hired by a man called Gado, Naruto explains, and Tazuna clenches his fists. Tazuna starts to explain the situation and Nami from Gado entering the country, killing his son-in-law and ruining their country, bringing the country to near collapse. This breaks our mission parameters. Continue. Ajanen will come next and with 2 genin I can't in good conscience continue this mission, Kakashi says but looks to Naruto, as Tazuna tries to hide his fears of being abandoned. However, between Naruto and myself, we should be able to survive but I want your opinions, Kakashi says, turning his attention to Sasuke and Hinata. We should continue. I need to test my skills, Sasuke says, curtly. I agree we should continue but also call for backup, Hinata states. Kakashi cups his chin in thought and looks to Naruto. Alright, I'll send word to Hokage-sama. However, this bumps the mission to at least A rank, he says. Thank you all, Tazuna says. Team 7 continues towards Nami as Kakashi's Inu summon pack and heads back to Konoha with a message for the Hokage Nami no Kuni. Team 7 sees the imposing bridge as they cross the water in a small boat. Impressive, Naruto muses. Thank you. It's our chance for freedom from Gado, Tazuna says. The boat soon reaches the coast as a thick mist passes through. Hard to see, Sasuke comments, as they reach land. Nami is surrounded by the ocean, it creates thick mist, Tazuna says, as they make their way through the forest towards his home. The mist gives way to open area but suddenly Sasuke tosses a kune into the bushes as a white rabbit scampers out. Kakashi's eye narrows with a look to Naruto. The coat is wrong, Kakashi thought but gasps. Everyone down, he shouts, tackling Tazuna. A massive sword sails into their line of sight as everyone ducks but Naruto, who raises his boot and shoots it forward with a loud clang as his boot collides with the sword. A clone pops to life and grabs the massive sword and heaves it towards a tree with a dispel but a tall man lands on it with his back to them. He has a muscular frame with light grayish skin, short spiky black hair, dark brown eyes, and small eyebrows. Well, if it isn't Zabuza Mamachi, Kakashi says. Zabuza keeps his eyes between Naruto and Kakashi. Quite impressive for a chunin to throw my cubic irabacho, Zabuza says. Kakashi reaches for his Hitaide and Zabuza chuckles. Ho, I get to see the famed Sharingan of Kakashi no Sharingan. I am honored, Zabuza says. Sharingan. He's not one of my clan. Sasuke thought. Kakashi reveals his famed eye with a serious look. Team protect Tazuna, he orders. Hinata and Sasuke each pull out a kunai as Naruto pulls out a pair of trench knives, but Zabuza laughs, squatting down on the hilt of his sword. To see the famed copy ninja's Sharingan so soon. You must be slipping, Zabuza sneers, as more mist starts to roll in. Zabuza suddenly kicks off the tree and lands on a small lake near them, before raising a half-ram sign and the mist grows thicker. Ninpo Kirigakure no Jutsu, Zabuza utters and vanishes into the mist. Hinata activates her Byakugan, but the mist is laden with chakra and hides Zabuza from them. Now which points should I strike first, Zabuza says, seemingly from everywhere. Thick ki washes over the area as Zabuza continues to taunt with the 8 points, but Sasuke, Tazuna and Hinata were not faring very well. Damn it. What is this? I should end it to escape this, Sasuke thought. His eyes flicker and slow points his kunai at his throat. Naruto suddenly smacks the kunai from his hand. Get it together, team, he hisses, but notices his eyes. Ho. A measly Chunin can withstand my bloodlust, Zabuza says, suddenly appearing behind them with his sword raises, but his head leaves his shoulders. However, instead of blood it was water as Zabuza becomes a puddle of water, while Kakashi unleashes his ki to counter Zabuza. Senpai in front, Naruto shouts. Kakashi dodges the real Zabuza's wide swing and lands in front of his team. Impressive, Chunin, Zabuza sneers and Naruto grins. Kakashi shoots forward to engage Zabuza in a macabre dance of death as the Team 7 and Tazuna watch, but the vampire sighs. Zabuza manages a Spartan kick to Kakashi and sending him crashing onto a lake. It's over, Zabuza sneers, appearing behind Kakashi with his hands out. Suten Suro no Jutsu, Zabuza utters and Kakashi gasps. The water gurgles and forms a large orb of water around Kakashi. Damn it, I got careless, he thought. Naruto. It's your turn, Kakashi shouts, shocking everyone but Naruto. You owe me then, Senpai, Naruto shouts and a clone pops to life. What are you doing, Dobe, Sasuke shouts. I'm going to free Senpai, Naruto says. Zabuza starts to laugh as Naruto moves forward. You think some Chunin can beat me? When you couldn't, he sneers, creating 3 Mizu Bunshin. Your kid's playing ninja, Zabuza says, making the mist thicker, but Naruto grins wide. The blonde vampire enters the mist and 2 clones pop to life to keep the mist thick as he steps on the lake. They are but me. Nah, Naruto says. He shoots forward with his left trench knife aimed as one the clonus reaches him, but it collapses into water from a wide swing of Naruto's Futon-enhanced knife. The 2 remaining clonus swing their swords, forcing Naruto to leap and dive to dodge them, and slamming his right hand on the water, but the blonde tosses his trench knife towards the real Zabuza. Head too slow, Zabuza sneers, leaping over the knife, but Naruto smirks. Zabuza gasps as the second knife was streaking towards him as his clonus collapse into water from Naruto's chains, forcing him to release Kakashi to swing his sword, but Naruto substitutes with the knife for a delayed dropkick. Zabuza grunts as he kicked towards the opposite side of the lake, but he corrects and lands in a crouch. Kakashi staggers to his feet as Naruto nears him. I'll finish this, Senpai, the blonde says. I got careless, Kakashi says. Zabuza narrows his eyes as Naruto slowly and methodically approaches. You're no ordinary Chunin, he says. Of course. You may have heard of my alias. Kyuketsuki, Naruto says, and Zabuza's breath hitches but a laugh escapes his lips. Vampire. HMM interesting, Zabuza says and starts a rapid set signs but gasps as Naruto was matching him, stopping at bird. Suten Tsurayudan no Jutsu, both shout. The water gurgles and swirls to form 2 dragons with golden eyes, before crashing into each other as Naruto draws Chikuto and swings to block Zabuza's cubic Iribacho. How the hell did you match me? Zabuza shouts. Naruto grins as both backpedal into a full circle run and matches Zabuza perfectly. Who knows, he mocks, angering the swordsman of the mist. Naruto tosses his sword and flashes several signs to stop at Snake. Futon de Tapahi intones, blasting a gust of wind. Zabuza jerks as he tossed back by the gust of wind, sending him through the forest and into a tree. Ah fuck, Zabuza shouts, as a Naruto's knife embeds into his right leg. Naruto appears with a shunshin as Zabuza glares, but he gasps as a Sharingan was in Naruto's right eye but blue. A Sharingan but HL, Zabuza hisses. Naruto grins wide and shows his teeth. Sorry, but those who lay witness to my secrets do not live to tell the tale, he says and raises his left arm. Zabuza gasps and his eyes widen as Naruto's arm turns into thick tendrils with mouths on the end as he slowly moves forward. Zabuza-sama, a voice call out. Naruto whips his head left as a masked ninja appears but smirks. Two lady hulls. Haku, Zabuza shouts, as the masked ninja is pierced by the tendrils and spraying blood. Zabuza quickly rips the knife from his leg and slams it into Naruto's head from the right, crumpling the vampire, but he has no time to gloat as Kakashi appears. Damn it. Another time copy ninja Zabuza hisses, vanishing with a Mizu Shunshin. Kakashi sighs and shifts his gaze to Naruto. Naruto, he says, seeing the wide-eyed look. Oh, net second, Naruto says, grabbing the knife and wrenching it from his head. He slowly sits up with a roll of his neck but shifts his gaze to the masked ninja named Haku. Seems Zabuza had helped, Naruto says. Their mask has fallen off to reveal an effeminate boy around Naruto's age with a look of shock forever etched on his face. My clone will take you to the others. I'll catch up, Naruto says. Right. I can feel unconsciousness coming on, Kakashi says, wearily. The clone drapes Kakashi's right arm over his shoulder and makes his way through the mist. Naruto pulls the corpse of Haku closer and starts to absorb the body into his own. Interesting, a Hayaten user, he says, grinning. Scene break. Tazuna's home. Hinata keeps watch over Kakashi as the latter is recovering from chakra exhaustion, with Naruto keeping watch and Sasuke downstairs. Tazuna's daughter Tsunami and grandson Inari were cordial to them, but the boy seemed be standoffish towards them. Footsteps catch her attention and it is Tsunami. Hyuga-san, any change, she asks, her dark blue hair hanging free. Still unconscious. Thank you for asking, Hinata says, and Tsunami smiles. I'll bring some tea, Tsunami says, excusing him. Hinata moves closer to the open window and her thoughts drift to Naruto. Unlike most people her age, she knew Naruto's secret, having overheard her father and clan elders discussing that Naruto was the jailer of the dreaded Kyuubi no Yoko. The very beast that attacked their village 16 years ago and taken the life of Lord Forth and scores of others. They told us the creature was dead, but it is walking around free and clear, Hinata thought. A groan echoes and Hinata looks to see Kakashi waking up. How are you feeling, sensei, she says. Kakashi gives a weak eye smile. Where's Naruto and Sasuke, he asks. Naruto is patrolling and Sasuke is downstairs. Sensei, tell me, is Zabuza alive or dead, Hinata states. Unfortunately, Zabuza is still alive. Before Naruto could deliver the finishing blow, his accomplice arrived and allowed him to escape, but he's injured and it's a serious one, Kakashi explains. Well, it is. Quickly, a voice says, and both see Kurenai. The raven hair vampiress wears a nylon, black, full bodysuit with a red mesh armor blouse with only the right sleeve visible and a dress that resembles bandages with a pattern on it similar to those of rose thorns. With ankle-length closed-toe boots. That was fast, Kakashi says. I ran my team pretty hard. Sakura collapsed as soon as we arrived, Kurenai explains and glances to Hinata. I saw Sasuke, but where is Naruto, Kurenai adds. He's patrolling, Kakashi replies, and Kurenai slowly nods, then he proceeds to explain the situation as it stands. Scene break. Naruto sits on the roof of Tazuna's seaside home with a cigarette in his mouth, but a sweet scent catches his nose as he looks at the night sky. So how is your team, Naruto asks. Weak except for Shino, he shows promise. Kiba was hard for me the moment he saw me. Genma did his best with what he had, but Sakura is pathetic, Kurenai explains, and Naruto makes a face. Kurenai takes a seat in Naruto's lap. Karin told me a student of Might Guy came by, she adds, and Naruto sighs, pulling her closer. Show me, Naruto says, before pulling her bodysuit and biting her neck. Kurenai moans as Naruto sinks his fangs in, but Naruto puts up his wrist, allowing her to bite him, and both vampires sharing memories. Tenten is prying again, Naruto thought, pulling back. Kurenai continues to drink from his wrist, but the blonde pulls it away. I didn't know you knew her, she says, cleaning her mouth. At the orphanage. Plus I saved her team last year. She saw me using my Colt and became infatuated with it being a weapons mistress, Naruto muses. You can imagine if such a weapon got into the hands of lesser people, Naruto adds. I know, a terrible thought. So when do we go after Gato, Kurenai asks, as the blonde wraps his arms around her slender waist. Naruto rests his chin on her shoulder with sigh. Tomorrow night. I'll kill him and take over his company. We'll need capital if things go south, he says, and Kurenai rests her head on his. We're with you, Kurenai says, and Naruto smiles. Of course, my lovely raven, Naruto muses, and Kurenai giggles. The morning came too soon for the vampires, and Naruto used a lie of guarding the house to sleep the day away, staying away from Sakura and Kiba. Kurenai used her jinjutsu to hide that Naruto was sleeping in a coffin and shows him in a bed. She leaves the room and heads to meet the others, but stops in her tracks. Screw that, I sleeping with Naruto. Being awake is annoying, Kurenai thought, and made a reinforced shadow clone. Kurenai returns to the room and see Naruto holding up the coffin lid. I figured you would want to sleep, he muses, and she climbs in. Where's Narubaka? A voice screeches and both vampires sigh. How do you with her, Naruto says, closing the coffin. Kurenai sighs with her head in his chest. I'm tempted to use Jinjutsu on her, but that would be wrong, she says, and Naruto rubs her back. In comfort. Nightfall. Several guards stand in front of Gato's mansion discussing nothing in particular, but suddenly pink rose petals starts fill the air. What is this? One says, holding out his hand to catch one. However, the other collapses with a smoking hole in his forehead, shocking the first guard, but he couldn't contemplate anything more as a kunai was rammed into his throat. Kurenai appears out the shadows and wrenches the kunai free, guiding the man to the ground as she drinks his blood. Naruto slowly appears as a mist starts to creep into the compound. Do you have the layout, he asks, as Kurenai was licking the rest of the blood from the kunai. I do, Kurenai says. Naruto creates nearly 3 dozen shadow clones and Kurenai creates a dozen, spread out. Cast a large area Jinjutsu. No need for any of them to escape, he orders, and the clones vanish, as Kurenai weaves signs to slowly fade away. Naruto leaps over the gate and shoots across the ground to the main house as his and Kurenai's clones were killing all the mercenaries in Gato's employ. He reaches the main house and breaks down into fog to seep into the mansion, in search of Gato himself. The blonde soon finds the man of the hour in his bed, smelling of sex and booze. Nasty insect, Naruto thought, forming at the edge of his bed. Gato is a short man with beady eyes and shaggy brown hair. Naruto rolls his eyes as form shifts into a very voluptuous woman with L-cut breasts and long blonde hair, but the sides of her head still shaved. Gato-sama, Naruto kus. Gato snorts as his eyes shoot open to see a goddess in human form. Who are you, he says. Don't you remember? You sent for me and ravished me. I've never come med so much in my life, Naruto says, and feel himself getting aroused and his ego rising. Oh well, I need to touch you again after this day. That fucking ninja took off, but no matter. I wasn't gonna pay him anyway, he says. Naruto tilts her head as she settles on Gato, her breasts jiggling slightly and enticing Gato. I heard shinobi are scary. Forget about all that, Naruto says and leans down. Are you ready to send me to heaven, she adds. Gato gropes Naruto's right breast with a lewd chuckle, but the vampire grins wide to split her face. More like you going to hell, Naruto howls, driving a hand into Gato's chest. Gato screams in pain, but Naruto starts to draw in his blood, causing it to peter out and the color to drain from his body. If I didn't need your riches, I wouldn't. Drop of your blood, Naruto hisses, slowly removing his hand. The vampire returns to normal and gets off the bed as a clone pops to life. Display his corpse like he did, Kaizen, Naruto orders, and the clone nods. He rolls his way to the lower levels of the mansion, finding cells with broken people, but he stops at one cell. Victoria, Naruto says. A young woman with dark skin, red-black hair and purple eyes emerges from the dark of the cell, in the rags of dress and a sheet. Yes, Naruto-sama, Victoria says, as Naruto melts into the shadow. The blonde appears in front of Gato's mansion. Now you have money, Kyuubi comments. Yes, with enough. Even I can disappear if I need to, Naruto muses, looking at the night sky. How did that woman know your name, Kyuubi says, and Naruto smirks. Shisu's Sharingan. I don't need eye contact to activate it, and thanks to this darkness, my field of view is much larger, Naruto thought. The morning soon came and the people were shocked to find the body of Gato strung up in the town square. All the member of Team 7 and Team 8 were shocked but 2, before going to Gato's mansion to find nothing. Kakashi sent the genin back to guard Tazuna, much to the protest of Kiba and Sasuke, but they reluctantly followed their sensei's orders. Naruto, did you do all this, Kakashi asks, and Naruto glances to Kurenai. I wasn't alone. Kurenai and I made our mission easier and freed this country from Gato's rule, Naruto says. That disgusting pig deserved everything he got, Kurenai comments, and Kakashi sighs, rubbing his eye. We'll keep what really happened from the people and tell them it wasn't fighting, Kakashi says and looks to Naruto. Since you killed him, you must know what he stole from Nami, he adds. Naruto slowly nods and beckons for them to follow. It also seems Zabuza took off too. Without Haku his prowess suffers, he says. Naruto opens the doors to Gato's office and makes his way to a large portrait of a nude woman. He returns, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods, taking the portrait down. Naruto starts on the combination for the wall safe and it clicks open. Inside were numerous deeds and money. We'll distribute them back to the people and any other money as well, Kakashi says, and both of them nod. Do you want my team to return to Konoha? Kurenai asks. Your team can stay. We can do some inter-team training, Kakashi says, giving Kurenai an eye smile. Konohagakure. Karin stands before the Hokage. Sandaime-sama. I would do, says, with a serious tone. Hiruzen smokes his pipe with a grandfatherly look on his face. That's good. If you like, I can put you on Team 7 inches, he says. That would be fine, Sandaime-sama, but won't that affect Naruto? Karin says, but Hiruzen shakes his head. Naruto-kun will keep his position on the team until the Chunin exams in a few months, Hiruzen says, and Karin nods. Can you perform the Academy 3? Hiruzen asks, and Karin nods. Anko has been helping me. Naruto even taught me the Kage Bunshin as well, Karin replies. That will be boon for you. Uzumaki do have large reserves. It will Genin as well, Hiruzen says, nodding, and gives Karin slip. Head to the academy and speak to Iruka. He's give you the test, Hiruzen adds, and Karin takes the slip, with a nod, and excuse herself. Karin left the Hokage Tower and made her way to the academy, the village bustling and people giving her somewhat decent looks. Word had spread she and Naruto were cousins, with some giving her the side eye, but it didn't bother her due to her life in Kusa. The redhead reaches the academy and searches for Iruka, finding him teaching a class, and knocks on the door. How can I help you? Iruka asks, and Karin hands him the slip, allowing him to read the contents. Oh well, come in. This actually works, as I can show the students, Iruka says, and Karin follows him inside. Class. This Karin Uzumaki, and she has come to demonstrate the Academy 3 for us today, Iruka states, and the class murmurs. Iruka then turns to Karin. Alright, all you have to do is perform the henge. Kawarimi and Bunshin Jutsu, he says, and Karin slowly nods. Karin starts with the Kawarimi and switches with a nondescript girl, then henges into a replica of Kurenai. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Karin intones and creates 5 copies of herself. Hey, that's not the Bunshin Jutsu, shouts a boy with brown hair and blue eyes. While true Konohamaru, but Karin performed a Bunshin technique, Iruka says, and turns to Karin. Thank you, Karin. You are excused, he adds. Thank you, Iruka-sensei, Karin says and bows, before excuses herself. Iruka follows her to the door and opens it for her. Hand this in at Higarashi's, he says, and Karin nods, taking the metal plate from him. Karin makes her way out of academy and makes her way to Higarashi's. Oi, Karin, a voice shouts, causing Karin to turn and see Anko. Hey Anko, ne, Karin greets, and Anko smirks. Where you headed? Anko says, as they continue walking, and Karin shows her Hite-8 plate. Oh, congrats. Lord Third got you a team? Anko asks. Team 7, Karin replies. Anko thought for a moment as they continue to the shinobi store. Be careful of the Uchiha and Hyuga, she says. I know, and Naruto will be until the Chunin exams, Karin comments, as they reach the shop. Welcome to Higarashi's. Oh, Karin. Anko-sensei, a young girl greets, with her brown hair styled with 2 panda-like buns. Hello, Tenten. I'm here for my Hite-8 and maybe a weapon, Karin states. Hey, you little panda, Anko greets, and Tenten puffs her cheeks. Tenten takes Karin's Hite-8 plate and shows her the various cloths, which Karin chooses a red cloth like her hair. Any particular weapon? Tenten asks. Karin thought for a moment, but Anko beats her to it. She want to be a medical ninja and poison user. Perhaps a senbon launcher or hidden blades, Anko says. Not many chose the medical route, Tenten says. I tend to rely on support. Plus I am a sensor and can fight at a distance, Karin explains, taking her Hite-8 and tying it around her forehead. Tenten comes from behind the counter and leads Karin to the various senbon, while Anko browses other weapons. Tenten shows Karin a line of wrist-mounted blade and launches. All you have to do is channel a small amount of chakra and the blade appear. The same works for the senbon launches. You can store about 20 senbon in the senbon. Using a Funjutsu formula, Tenten explains. Funjutsu is supposed to be in Uzumaki's blood, so Naruto may be able to improve upon this. So I'll one of each, Karin says, and Tenten scoffs. He has. Have you ever seen his Colt? Tenten says, and Karin shakes her head. It's some launcher that fire pieces of metal called bullets. I asked for the blueprints to create one of. Don't tell me, Tenten says. Is little panda mad that Foxy is not telling her anything? Anko says, taunting the younger Genin. Tenten scoffs and takes Karin's choices to the counter for the redhead to pay for. Tell him. I want to seriously talk to him, Tenten says, and Anko smirks. I'll tell, Anko says, and pays for Karin's choices, much to the redhead's shock. Think of it as an investment. I'll be training you, and besides, you're Naruto's cousin. So is his big sister. Wife. Your family, Anko says. Thanks, Anko, ne, Karin says, taking her items and bows to Tenten. The bun-hair Kunoichi watches the pair leave and her thoughts drifted to Naruto, a foxy bastard who won't let me play with his toys, she thought 1 month later. Nami High no Kuni border. Team 7 and 8 standing the fire countryside of Tazuna's finished bridge with Tazuna and his family. The month had been productive for Naruto as Victoria faked coming to Nami 2 weeks after Gato's death to confirm and declare that her company called Kiryu Shipping was taking over Gato's holdings. The people were immediately weary, having just gotten back the deed. Spun a convincing cover story and provided manpower to aid Tazuna. So what will you do about Tenten? Kurenai asks. Naruto tilts his head with a look to Tazuna's family as they said goodbye to his teammates and her genin. I don't know. Tenten was one of the only friends I had before leaving the orphanage. I'll talk her and maybe, just maybe the queens will grow by one, he replies, and Kurenai giggles. You do need someone close in age to you, Kurenai comments, and Naruto scoffs. Alright everyone, let's head to Konoha with a mission accomplished, Kakashi states, catching the vampire's attention, and both teams leap off at high genin speed. Naruto shifts to gaze to Sasuke, who knew he had awakened his Sharingan already, and Zabuza's ki reawakened it, he thought. Another one with those cursed eyes, Kyuubi hisses. No, I have no intention on using mine on you. If I could I would be free of you, Naruto thought. The feeling is mutual, each Kyuubi hisses and Naruto snorts, before shifting his gaze to Hinata. The Hyuga heir has spent the month shadowing him during the waking hours, asking for spars and getting to know, even subtle seduction in attempt to put him under her thumb. If it was 4 years ago, I would wait, but sorry Hinata. Your wiles do nothing for me, Naruto thought. A few hours passed and both teams saw the massive gate of Konoha coming into view, and with a quick check-in with the Eternal Guardians Kotetsu and Izumo, the two teams parted as Kakashi and Kurenai headed to the Hokage to give their reports about their mission. Sasuke-kun, do you want to get something to eat? To celebrate your Sharingan, Sakura says. No, Sasuke says, curtly, and heads to his family compound. Hinata turns to ask Naruto something similar, but the blonde was gone. Damn him. He is like to him, she thought, leaving. Naruto appears near a nondescript 2-story building. As he enters, his clothes shift into his Anbu gear with his beaked coat and his mask on his face. Numerous Anbu were doing various things as Naruto makes his way to Dragon's office, finding them at their desk. Finally returned, Dragon asks. We had to remain. Bridge was finished, Naruto says, handing them a scroll with his report. Dragon opens the scroll and reads over Naruto's report but whistles. Almost killed Zabuza Mamachi and gained the Hyaten Kekkei Genkai, Dragon says. True. I may have some more jutsu. Haku was young, Naruto says. Or water country, Dragon suggests. Only if Gramps lets us interfere in the civil war, Naruto says. Dragon scoffs and dismisses him. Yugeo's out on patrol but Hana's here. You can catch her before she heads out, Dragon says, and Naruto nods, excusing himself. Naruto searches for his loyal wolf and finds her in one of the locker rooms, with no one in sight, and a clone pops to life to guard the door. Finally back, Hana says, putting on her chest armor. Yeah, your brother is annoying, Naruto says, and Hana wraps her arms around his waist for a soft kiss. Tell me about it, Hana muses. Naruto reaches in his cargo pocket and pulls out a scroll. I got a gift for you, he says, and Hana takes the scroll confused. It's the gauntlets of the demon brothers. I figured your beast mimicry. Really tear into your prey, Naruto says, and Hana grins. Yufu. Thanks, I can use them on my mission. Finally got a beat on that shithead Aoi Rakusho, Hana says. Naruto grasps her chin and bites the inside of his cheek, before kissing Hana once again and his blood going into her mouth and down her throat. I needed a pick-me-up, Hana thought. Happy hunting, my wolf, Naruto thought, and Hana giggles in her mind. As they pull back, Hana thumbs the remains of blood on her lips. It shouldn't take me long, she says, as the blonde heads out. Not +1 for recovering her family's heirloom, Naruto thought, leaving the locker room and his clone dispelling. Naruto leaves Anbu HQ and his clothes shift back to his mission clothes as he vanishes, appearing on the roof of a random building. That is if she ever village, Naruto muses, leaping down and scaring several villagers. The blonde continues through the village to Higarashi's shinobi shop. I wonder if she is on mission, Naruto thought, entering the shop but finding her at the counter. I hear for me, Panda, Naruto says, shouting to get her attention. Tenten looks to see Naruto with hands pocketed. Of course. I want that colt for my collection, she says. Naruto pulls his left hand out of his pocket and make a fist, creating his colt and spinning it in his hand. I never like you, Naruto says, holding the handle out to her but pops her in the forehead with it. OWW. What was that for? Tenten shouts. Naruto leans on the counter with the gun between them. Think about this seriously for a second. What if I give you this and someone steals it? Recreates it? It will be far worse than any jutsu. Any person could use it and kill with ease. Innocent people, he says. Tenten looks into his steely blue eyes and looks away. Fine. I'll stop asking, but I need an edge. People look down on Kunoichi, she says. Yet they fear the likes of Tsunade Senju, Pakura of the Scorch, Kushina Uzumaki and others. It's only recently that Kunoichi have become vapid fangirls. More concerned with looks and boys. Blame the academy for that, Naruto says. Tell me about it, Tenten says, but notices Naruto's sharp upper canines. How does your bloodline work? Tenten adds, pointing her left. Naruto bites at her finger but Tenten pulls it away before he could. Ho. Well, I need blood survive. Animal or human suffices. I can eat normal food but it doesn't suffice as sustenance. Why, curious if it can be passed on, Naruto says, and Tenten blushes slightly. And no. It's just your code name is vampire after all, Tenten says. Naruto sighs and pushes off the counter with the cold remaining. Curse guy for his mouth. See ya, panda, he says and turns on his heels. Tenten looks down at the Colt and reaches for it but it dissolves into wispy smoke. Damn it, she snaps. Scene break. Might guy middle of a heated spar, when the older of the two saw a familiar blonde out of his periphery. That's enough, Lee. We have a guy says, blocking a high kick. Lee sees Naruto and looks to Guy. Who is that guy, sensei? Lee asks. Why don't with full Chunin, Guy says. Lee nods and takes off in a light jog with a glance to Naruto. I'll return soon, Guy sensei, he says. What brings you here, Naruto-kun? Guy asks. Naruto's face takes a serious look. Why did you tell a genin my real identity, he says, and Guy shifts to a serious stance. I apologize, Naruto, but Tenten recognized your shade of hair and I went to Hokage-sama. He allowed me to confirm you were Kyuketsuki, Guy says. A bitter scowl forms on Naruto's face, even among the faceless. I have a face, he says and vanishes, before Guy could apologize. Why are you surprised, Kyubi says, as Naruto lands on the roof his apartment complex. Naruto sighs and leaps down to his door to unlock it. If he wants to keep me in this village. He's not. Very good job, he thought, unlacing his boots and kicking them off. The blonde plops on his sofa as his clothes melt into a pair of sweatpants and a gray tank top. He crosses his legs at the ankles and rests his left behind his head with his eyes closed, before appearing in his mindscape. Naruto ignores the Kyubi's cage and makes his way to another hall, but it gives from a sewer to fleshy growths, adorned with human faces. Each were fed or absorbed, some recognized as Mizuki, Jiro and others not. However, two stuck out as the forms of Danzo and Haku were prominent, as unlike the others who were sunk into the growth to their face. The darkness of Konoha and right hand of Zabuza were only to their waists and shoulders. Tell me, is this the limit of your knowledge of your Kekkei Genkai? Naruto asks. Haku only stares blankly at the blonde as Danzo scoffs. You will get nothing from him. You've broken him, he says. No matter. His mind will tell me, Naruto says, and Haku starts to sink more into the growths. Are Hamura and Kaharu able to act without your muscle? Naruto asks. No. It's why they were easy to flip. They'll seek to replace me. The Uchiha, Danzo says, but Naruto scoffs. Sasuke simply doesn't care. Unless it gets to kill Itachi faster. He won't care. Speaking of the Kinslayer. Does he have the other eye? Naruto adds. Why? Danzo questions, but Naruto ignores him and fades away. Naruto Anko pulls from his sides of her mouth. Sorry, I wanted to catch up, she says. Kurenai back yet? Naruto asks and Anko nods. Says and Anko giggles in a lewd manner, forgetting all about the sanding. Training Ground 7, 3 days later. After 3 days of rest, Naruto and Karin make their way towards the training ground to meet the rest of their team, with Sasuke and Hinata waiting for Kakashi to arrive. The red Anko chose something practical to medical member. She wears a form-fitting, black bodysuit under a purple kimono to her knees, adorned with black swirls. The laden Senbon launcher, mesh stockings and closed-toe kunoichi boots to her knees, completing the outfit with forearm-length, fingerless gloves. Who are you? Sasuke says. Karin adjusts her glasses with a glance to Naruto. My name is Karin Uzumaki and I am the newest member of Team 7 Inches, she says. Uzumaki Hinata says, looking to Naruto. Karin is a member of the Uzumaki clan and my cousin, Naruto says. Sasuke looks between the Uzumaki cousins but scoffs. Well, you better no hold me back, he says, and Karin glares at him. A puff of smoke erupts as Kakashi appear with his patent eye smile. Hello my kawaii team, and you seem to have met Karin, he says. Now this does change our team dynamic as Karin is a support ninja but a very adept sensor. She'll be able to note opposition much quicker, Kakashi adds. Will Naruto be leaving now that we have a third member, Hinata asks, but Kakashi shakes his head. Naruto will remain with the team until the Chunin exams, Kakashi adds. What are Chunin exams, Karin asks, and Kakashi gives her a nice smile. That's a good question. In about 4 months Konoha will be hosting an exam to test genin from various countries to see if they are ready for promotion, Kakashi explains. Will we be participating, Hinata asks. Normally it's not unheard of, but since Konoha will be hosting the exams, I will have your team participate, Kakashi replies, glancing to Naruto. I will be helping in that regard as well. Senpai will test your affinities as well. Something you wouldn't learn until after becoming Chunin, Naruto explains, and Kakashi pulls 3 slips of paper. That's correct. These are chakra paper. All you have to do is check and learn your affinity. Earth chakra makes the paper turn to dirt and crumble. Fire chakra causes it to turn to ash. Water chakra wets the paper. Lightning chakra wrinkles the paper and wind chakra splits the paper, Kakashi explains and hands a slip to Naruto. The blonde channels his chakra and the paper splits in half. See, I have a wind affinity, Naruto says. Kakashi then hands a slip of paper to Karin, going first, her paper wetting partially and crumbling. Interesting. Water and earth affinities, Kakashi says. Hinata goes next and her paper turns to ash. Fire affinity, she notes. I have a fire and lightning, Sasuke says, holding his paper. It was partially ash and wrinkled tightly. A high lightning affinity at that, Kakashi says, and Sasuke gives Naruto a smug look. The blonde ignores Sasuke and shifts his gaze to Karin, but then Kakashi. So what will we be doing today, Naruto asks, and Kakashi replies with D ranks. Confusing Karin, and she would be angry at her cousin by the end of the day. And guys, this is the end. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Peace.